3 true don't run horror stories. Story 1. The Man on the Road. It was late one night, around 11:30, when I decided to walk home instead of calling a ride. It wasn't far, just a 15-minute walk through a quiet neighborhood. The air was cool, the streets were nearly empty, and for a while, it felt peaceful. The kind of silence where you can hear your own footsteps echo off the pavement. But halfway down the block, I noticed another pair of footsteps. At first, I thought maybe I was imagining it. I even stopped walking for a moment. The sound stopped too. The street was empty when I looked around, just rows of houses with their lights out. Everyone inside asleep. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe just the sound bouncing off buildings. I started walking again, and that's when I heard footsteps again. Slow, steady, matching my pace. I didn't turn around right away. My chest tightened, and I kept my eyes forward. There was this pressure, like someone was watching me. Finally, I glanced over my shoulder. About half a block behind me, under the glow of a streetlight, there was a man. He wasn't moving fast. He wasn't even pretending to hide. He was just walking, hands in his pockets, head tilted slightly down. I felt this sharp chill run down my back. I didn't recognize him. He didn't look like he lived around there. And the way he walked, like he had all the time in the world, made it worse. I sped up my pace a little. The footsteps sped up too. At that point, my pulse was pounding in my ears. I thought about calling someone, but who? And what would I even say? Hey, there's some guy walking behind me. It felt stupid, but every instinct in my body was screaming at me. Don't let him catch up. Don't stop moving! I reached an intersection and turned left, trying to play it cool. Maybe he'd just keep going straight. For a second, the footsteps faded. I felt this little bit of relief until I heard them again, closer this time. He had turned the same corner. Now I knew it wasn't just coincidence. I slipped my phone out of my pocket and pretended to check something, angling it so I could use the dark screen like a mirror. And I saw him, still behind me, same distance. But now, his head was up. He was looking straight at me. I couldn't see his face clearly, just the outline. But I knew. His eyes were locked on me. My palms were sweating so bad I nearly dropped my phone. I thought about running, but something in my gut whispered, "Don't run! If you run, he'll chase you." So I walked faster. My legs felt like lead, my breaths coming out uneven. Every house I passed looked dark and empty. No one around. Just me and him. And then, out of nowhere, I heard a voice, a low, almost calm whisper. "Go ahead, run." I froze midst. It wasn't in my head. I heard it clear, echoing just enough in the quiet street. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. My heart was slamming so hard I thought I'd collapse. I forced my legs to move, faster and faster, nearly jogging now. But the footsteps stayed behind me. Steady, persistent. When I finally saw my street up ahead, I nearly cried from relief. My house was only a few houses down. I sprinted up the steps, shoved my key into the lock with shaking hands, and slammed the door shut behind me. I stood there, chest heaving, listening. Nothing. Just silence. I slowly peeked through the blinds of my front window. He was there, standing on the sidewalk. Not moving. Not leaving. Just standing. His head tilted up slightly toward my house, as if he knew I was watching. We stared at each other for what felt like forever. And then, slowly, he raised a finger to his lips. A silent she. I dropped the blinds instantly, backing away from the window, my stomach in knots. By the time I finally worked up the courage to look again, he was gone. I never saw him again. But sometimes, late at night, when I'm walking alone, I swear I hear those same footsteps behind me. And I never, ever run. Story 2. The parking lot, I used to work late shifts at a retail store, and sometimes I wouldn't get out until close to midnight. The parking lot was always the worst part. Huge, dimly lit, and usually empty. One night, after clocking out, I walked to my car. My footsteps echoed loudly on the pavement, the sound bouncing back at me from the concrete walls of the lot. I hit the unlock button on my keys, and the faint beep of my car broke the silence. That's when I heard yet another set of footsteps. They were faint, but definitely there. Slow, dragging, like someone was deliberately keeping their pace light. I turned around quickly. Nobody, just rows of cars under yellow lights. My stomach sank. I quickened my pace, heading straight for my car. Every few seconds, I'd hear it, again footsteps stopping whenever I stopped. I reached my car, fumbling to get the door open, when I caught something in the reflection of the window. A figure! Not close maybe, 10 or 15 feet back, but standing directly in the middle of the lot. I spun around. A man, tall, wearing a dark hoodie pulled tight over his face. He wasn't moving. He was just standing there, staring. "Can I help you?" I shouted, trying to sound braver than I felt. No response. He didn't move. I quickly ducked into my car, slammed the door, and locked it. My hands shook as I shoved the key into the ignition. The engine roared to life, and for a second, I felt safe. Until I looked up. He was closer now. Not running, not even walking fast, but closer. I slammed the car into reverse and peeled out of the lot, tires squealing. I didn't stop until I hit the main road, my heart pounding like a drum. When I glanced in the rear-view mirror, he was still there standing at the edge of the lot, watching me drive away. And the strangest part, he was smiling.
Story 3. The message: I live alone in a small apartment. I've always felt safe there, third floor, locked entry, neighbors close by. But one night changed that forever. It was around 1 a.m., and I was lying in bed scrolling on my phone when I got a text from an unknown number. It said, "Don't run, I see you." I froze, staring at the screen. My first thought was that it was a prank. I typed back, "Who is this?" No response. I set my phone down and tried to shake it off, but then another text came. "Get up, look at your window." My stomach dropped. Slowly, with shaking hands, I pulled the curtain aside. At first I didn't see anything, just the dark, empty street below. Then I noticed it. A man, standing under the streetlight across the road. His head tilted upward, directly at my window. My breath caught in my throat. I let the curtain fall instantly, heart hammering. Another text buzzed through. "Told you, don't run." I didn't sleep that night. Stayed curled up in bed, lights on, phone clutched in my hand. I never saw him come inside, never heard the door. But when I checked my phone the next morning, there was one last message waiting for me. Nice pajamas. I never figured out how he saw me, and I never opened that window again.